Hi there, it's Paul from Wolf Software Systems. I'm just in the office, so I'm moving this all out of the way. So I wanted to talk a bit about how we have our private clusters up, and I'm going to talk a bit about what that is. So our clients, rather than having servers buying space on Amazon, AWS, Cloudflare, or any of these big boys, we actually have space in data centers, and we actually put in 3 different servers. Normally, for a smaller system where it's just a couple of 100,000 users, we just have 3 servers running like this. And I just wanted to talk about how we set it up. Obviously, I've hidden the address, but we use Proxmox clusters. And the reason we do that, so these are actually Wolf 1, Wolf 2, and Wolf 3. These are 3 physical servers. And so you can see that we've got 3 web servers running on there. We've also got 3 database servers. Now that is a MariaDB, amazing MariaDB Galera cluster, which has vector databases and everything like that in it. And then we have a max scale load balancer that load balances the traffic in and out of the databases. Now, what we sometimes do is we'll install max scale on each of the web servers themselves. We can get a bit of a performance increase on that. And also it means if max scale is down for a second while it's relocating, then we don't lose any connections to the main server. But then the downside is you have to keep all the max scales up to date on all the web servers. So this one has a Ceph cluster on it. So if we look at our Ceph cluster here, this one has 9 terabytes running on it available right now. But the beauty of it is that, so what we do is we have these mounts. So we actually have a folder on the server, on each server, called in the Ceph cluster, which is shared. And then what we do is we redirect var www.html, like the HTML folder, to actually point to a share on that mount. That means that we can update a file on one of the servers in its var www.html, and it actually gets updated to the Ceph cluster, so all the servers then pick it up. Some other gotchas are, so we're using an Nginx load balancer, and the thing you have to watch out with there is, of course, if you're using sessions or cookies that are server-based or client-based, you need to make sure you're always connecting to the same server. So with Nginx, we use IP hashing to do that. But the beauty of this is that we can basically lose 2 servers and the whole thing will carry on, which hardly ever / never happens. And the thing, what will happen, so we've got high availability as well. So that means that if Wolf 2 goes down, Gateway will be run on the other server automatically. Same with max scale as well. So, but obviously with Web 3 DB3, Web 2 DB2, Web 1 DB1, we don't need to have high availability because they're all copies of each other. So it's all a live copy. And then of course we have a Proxmox backup server sitting in a different data in a different part of the same country. So we get everything backed up, but we only need to back up one of the database servers because it's a Galera cluster, so it's all copies of it. So it's a bit of tech, but it's so sweet and nice, and the way it runs, they just run 24/7. And the beauty is it's really expandable as well. We can just add more servers to it as we want to go, except we have to have an odd number to keep quorum. I like Proxmox. We've looked at other things. I prefer it over Kubernetes and things like that, because I often think that so Proxmox containers, which is what we run everything pretty much if we can in Proxmox containers, because they're really much less heavy than running a full VM on the server. And there are a lot of, I know I've spoken to people in data centers who think you should only run VMs, but the thing is, resource wise, they're much better. And also, if you haven't got to run, I think the way Kubernetes runs sometimes with those big heavy containers, I'm just not 100% with it. I love Kubernetes for certain jobs, but not for this kind of thing. So it's all pretty industry standard. We're using industry standard stuff, and we call this our Wolf stack. So basically, we have a few of these. I've got a couple up there that I look after. I mean, one of them is pretty big. We've got masses of servers in here. But this is running our game Wolf Territories grid. There's another one here, same sort of plan. This one actually has a lot more space on it. But who's going to use 12 terabytes? We do also have a couple of object storage setups, external, which we're not using for this. We just don't need to. And it's just a great setup. It just works 24/7. we don't suffer from in the last failover at Cloudflare, we had a problem where some of our libraries come from Cloudflare CDNs, so we migrated them so the web servers actually carry their own libraries, and then we got a script to update it from the CDN at the caching Cloudflare servers, so that if Cloudflare does go down again, we don't get lots of weirdness on our websites and our systems. Now, this system runs something called IntelligentWolf. Please come to our seminars. We do a seminar a week. You can sign up at intelligentwolf.com/webinar. Love to talk to people and answer questions and things like that. Hope that's really helpful. Have a lovely day.